Welcome in, Georgia Tech fans, to another edition of Inside the Booth, where we go inside the booth, I guess we could say, with another one of Georgia Tech's commits. This time out of the transfer portal, it is offensive lineman Will Reed. And Will, we appreciate you taking the time, man. You were just saying, like, your schedule's crazy. You've been training, you're getting ready for graduation, so we appreciate you carving out some time for us.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
Well, man, let's kind of talk here about, just your journey a little bit, kind of your background. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of Georgia Tech fans when they see an Ivy League school kid transfer, like, okay, well, one, we don't have to worry about the academic side of things. We know this is going to be he's going to be
Yeah,
good here, but just kind of talk about your journey, what got you to college, and just maybe your experience at Princeton.
yeah, definitely. Well, I would start. I mean, growing up, I always loved football. Like I talked to some of my friends and had the conversation. Like, did you always think you would play in college, stuff like that? And I never had a doubt in my mind. Personally, I've always been just like a football dude. My grew up with my dad coaching me. Um, Hit high school, didn't really play my first 2 years. I was on a pretty talented team at Eastside Catholic in Washington State. And then my recruitment started to take off junior year, about midway through my junior season. Um, I ended up committing to Cal that summer during
Mm,
COVID. And then after about 6 months, I decommitted to go to Princeton. And the reason there was really just that I felt I couldn't pass up an Ivy League degree.
yeah.
I basically, the way I view it is I kind of put trust in myself to get back to a higher level of football, but I didn't
Hmm.
think I could just will myself into this type of alumni network or this type of degree. So I kind of had to take it while it was available in my
Yeah.
eyes. Um, yeah, and then so I came in my freshman year at Princeton. I had just torn my labrum during my senior year. We played in May because of COVID, so
That's right.
yeah, that was probably the hardest part of my journey, I'd say, was being out that freshman year and just
Mhm.
missing out on development and really the only season I've ever missed due to injury. So that was tough. But then, yeah, started 2 years here and extremely grateful that I got the opportunity to use the portal. It's kind of the rules are kind of changing at a good time where I'm getting to benefit from it, which is really awesome. But just really psyched to play another year and especially for GT.
Let's talk a little bit, man, because I'm always curious when I ask guys this. What is life like in the portal? Like, was your phone blowing up? Obviously, you were a guy that had produced really well at the Ivy League level. I mean, what were those maybe first couple of days like? And just maybe a background for fans, like, how do you handle kind of the pressure of saying, hey, this is where I want to visit, and everything happens so fast.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I think high school recruiting is cool because it happens over the span of 2 years, and you
Hmm.
get maybe like you're talking to one coach a week, and you can kind of take it slow and talk to everyone on staff. They talk to your parents, stuff like that. This is more like you get a call from a general manager and like they want to do everything within 3 days. You'll get a call from the OC 5 minutes from now, and then the O line coach or however it may shake out, and then they're asking you to come visit like the same day. So it's out of control. Like it's obviously it's a great position to be in, but it is also
Hmm.
stressful too, I would say, just how quickly it happens. Um so you kind of you have to know what you're looking for, I'd say,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of stuff to like get swept up in. But in my experience, I mean, every coach I've talked to has been great to me, and I haven't really experienced anything crazy pushy or like over the top, which I'm super thankful for.
Let's talk about Georgia Tech a little bit, man. I mean, obviously, this is an offensive line that has some starters to replace. And throughout spring ball, kind of talking with some people over there, they still kind of felt like right tackle was a need for them. So when you kind of engaged conversation with them, whether it was Brent Key, whether it was Jeep Wade, or any of these guys, what was that relationship like? And how quickly did you kind of feel like, hey, this is a place I could go play?
What I love about Coach Wade and Coach Key most is their intensity. I
Hmm.
think I'm a player who thrives off of that. Um, and like they're all about ball and they're all business, but they're also great guys. So like having coaches that I already respect, I already feel like these are guys I want to play for. There's some coaches that you just get like riled up just talking to them about football,
Yeah.
like makes you want to like strap it up and go play. And they're definitely those guys. And I think like their guidance, like their intensity is what I need.
You mentioned that right there. I mean, look, we've covered the program long enough now under Coach Key that that's not for everybody. Not every single player gets motivated in that way. Is that something that maybe you've had all of your life, and so it feels familiar to you? Just kind of that I don't want to say rah rah mentality, but just kind of that level of intensity. Like, what makes you gravitate towards that?
That's a good question. I'm not. I think. I think in high school, honestly, it might have started that way when I was playing youth football. I remember my first year, we had a coach kind of similar, and it's a little bit different when you're coaching third graders. But it's. I remember some of the parents were like upset about like his intensity or like using cuss words or something, and I was just like, I love football so much, and this was my head coach, so I was all in, and that was like
Mhm.
sort of, I guess, what got me going for a long time. And I don't know. I think there's obviously times where you need to calm your players down and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But I think you need someone who makes you want to run through a brick wall for them, and that's what they have there.
Talk a little bit about schematics. Obviously, when you look at your tape, you've played a lot of right tackle. Do you feel like you're versatile to where they could plug and play you anywhere? I mean, what has their message, maybe their plan been for you so far?
Yeah, it's we've only talked about tackle.
Okay.
There's been no talk of like playing interior, mostly right side. But I mean, I don't think the side really matters to me. Honestly, it's going to be dependent on the other strengths of the guys in the offense and what they need. I know some schools have uh, sort of different philosophies about the types of players they want at left and right
Mhm.
tackle. I'm comfortable on the right side. I've been training on the left side. So I'm going to be happy to play anywhere. It's really wherever they need me.
Georgia Tech as a whole, man, is a program that I would say the best word is that Brent Key has stabilized. They struggled for a little bit, kind of the mid 2010s, late 2019, and everything. And then obviously he gets the interim job. And you've seen maybe just a little bit of it, how much the locker room cares and they love him in that aspect. What was your perception of Georgia Tech maybe before they even talked to you? And I guess has that changed at all, or what have you feel like you've learned outside of the relationship and how Coach Key and them like to coach?
Yeah. So I was really first exposed to Georgia Tech when one of my old teammates, Connor Scaglione, committed there about 2 years ago to
Yeah.
go play some right guard for him. Um, and he was like a mentor of mine in this program, and like really one of my best friends. And he's given me a lot of guidance through this. But even 2 years ago, when he had no idea this would be a possibility, he was always saying great stuff about Tech.
Mhm.
And when I went through this recruiting process again, I obviously called him, tried to get his opinion on things, and he really couldn't recommend it enough. He said, it's the most honest people. It's O line focus. You're going to run the damn ball. And like he just loves the guys, loves the brotherhood. So he really couldn't say enough great things about the program.
When we watch your tape, man, we know that obviously, and you've mentioned it here, that you love the game of football. When you see, I don't know if you were watching, but last year when Georgia Tech knocked off Florida State and Brent Key says, run the damn ball, as an offensive lineman, what does that do for you? Because I imagine that kind of gets the juices flowing a little bit.
Yeah, it does everything for me, dude. I love it. That's what you love to hear. That's what you love to do. Obviously, I mean, you got to throw the ball downfield sometimes, get the defense off balance. But I think great football teams run the ball, man, and it's like that's where we have fun. I mean, pass ending is cool, but like I don't want to be stepping backwards all game long. I want to get my nose in there and run the ball. So that's what I'm excited for.
When you look at this team and the roster, man, I mean, obviously they've got a quarterback in Haynes King, one of the top returning quarterbacks in the country, a guy that loves to run the ball, Jamal Haynes as well. I mean, how excited are you to be able to block for some of these guys? And have you kind of started developing any relationships with anybody on the team?
Yeah, so I met Haynes briefly when I was down there in January. I've connected with a good amount of the guys through social media, and just getting a couple people's numbers. But when we talk about like the run game, as you're saying, I mean, I think it's top. They're both top 10 for quarterback and running back returning in
Yeah.
college. Like, and both obviously massive run threats. I think we have great leadership on the O line. Obviously, Keelan being a returning All ACC right guard too. I got to see his leadership while I was down there on my visit, and man, just good guys overall. Like I don't think there's any ego on the team. I think it's definitely people just working towards a common goal, and I'm really excited to be part of it.
Last one for you here, man, because obviously you're entering a year where, look, they bring a guy like you on, a lot of veteran experience. You mentioned Keelan there in the middle, too. But, I mean, Haynes King, Jamal Haynes, Malik Rutherford, there's a lot of veteran talent. So I don't want to say it's an all in type of year here for 2025, but what have you taken away of the expectations for this team? Because a lot of media have kind of talked about this could be a group that maybe finds themselves in Charlotte playing for an ACC title. What is maybe your expectation of what you've gathered from the staff?
I mean, that's always going to be the goal. You know, you want to have an
Mhm.
ACC championship, and I don't think there's any reservations in any coach or player on the team that that's what we're going after, and that's what we feel we're capable of. And I'm just excited to give my all for that goal. You know, I mean, it's you can sit around and talk about it, but it's so much easier for me to tell you that we want to win an ACC championship versus get my foot back on that line when we're running the last gas from the summertime. Like, you can talk about it all you want, but really, right now, it's the time to get to work. Excited to get down there in just a couple days, start grinding with my guys, and really get after it because that's what counts, not just claiming we're gonna go get one right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. And obviously, we were talking about this beforehand, but let the people know. So you graduate when you're getting in a U-Haul, and then you're driving down there like in a span of 3 days, right?
Yeah, so I'm graduating on the 27th. I'll be on in a U-Haul, packed everything up with my parents. It's like a 13-hour drive on the 28th. Um, Stay in a hotel that night, move in on the or I might have to go to work out on the 29th and then move in afterwards. But yeah, getting right to it. So 2 days after graduation, I'll be in the white and gold.
That's awesome. Will Reed, we're excited to see you suit up for the Jackets, man. Can't wait to cover you this fall, and best of luck to you. Congratulations on graduating, man, and we hope to connect with you again in the future.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.